What is up guys, JPR Tech here, and thank you for joining me on the second part of my two-part series video on how to shoot sports with a manual lens. If you remember, a few videos ago I showed you the methods and techniques for shooting sports with a manual lens. Now in this video I'll show you the camera settings that I use and also go over the image quality. Now I just finished shooting a table tennis tournament for the handicap, and I know it's not an up and down sports, but players do go side to side very quickly and unexpectedly. And it was indoors, so light was very limited. I shot with the Sony a6000, and about 60% of the shots it was mainly used with the Pentax 50mm f1.4, and for the rest of the images I used the Toking ATX-Pro, the 80 to 200mm f2.8 prime zoom lens. Now even though the Toking lens is an automatic focusing lens, it was mounted on a dummy adapter, so it was all manual focusing. As for my camera settings, I always shoot in manual mode, and in this time I usually shoot in RAW, but I wanted to test the buffer and the JPEG quality, so I only shot in JPEG at fine at 24 megabytes. Now at video I always kept it at 60p so I could slow it down later in post, and my white balance was a manually set at 5000 Ks. The picture profile that I used was a portrait mode, and I had it customized to -2 contrast, -1 saturation, and 0 sharpening. Now my main goal is to keep the images as real and lifelike as possible so that I don't have to worry about editing so much. I didn't care about a flat look because I was not mainly shooting for video. The drive mode was set at continuous shooting high. The aperture ranged from f2.8 to f5.6. Now the shutter was mainly at 150th of a second to 200th of a second, which I know is pretty slow for sports, but it was passable in ping pong, but I would still recommend higher shutter speeds. My ISOs was also a little low. I shot at 800 to 1000 ISOs, and again the shutter and the ISOs were a little low because some of the images did introduce motion blur. Now I could prevent that with a higher shutter speed, so in order to do that I had to shoot with a higher ISO. Now if I were to shoot indoors again, I will increase the ISO because I just realized that the sensor on the a6000 can handle 1250 ISOs up to 1600 very easily, still clean and sharp images. Therefore that would allow me to increase the shutter speed, and I would try to bump from 200ths to 500ths of a second, and that way that will help me decrease the motion blur. But other than that, the images came out great. They were sharp and on focus too. And like I said, I could have made other adjustments better, but we live and learn, right? Well, I hope you guys like this video and just realize what I came to realize myself is that, yeah, for a $200 mirrorless camera and a $3 lens, this is not bad. And especially with manual focusing, we're able to do sports too. So you could leave down the comments down below any recommendations you have for camera settings for the Sony mirrorless camera. And if you did like this video, you can support my channel by doing two things: smashing that like button and subscribing. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Peace.